Sport's far and away my favorite. This is definitely the combat sport of the future and ironically of the past. So I'm going to ask some questions to the guys. If anybody wants to be so brave and venture, we'll pass the microphone to you. If anybody has any questions or comments, that's for fans, that's for media, if you guys want to do that. We're going to go to everybody on the stage. I'm going to ask a question, get things going, then we'll turn it on over to all of you. So first I'm going to talk to Sam Shoemaker. Sam was found at the tryouts, which was July of 2017. And Sam broke the punch meter. So my question for Sam, he comes out of glove boxing, and we say glove boxing now, I think it's a retronym. We have to say bare knuckle and glove boxing. Very successful as an amateur, Kansas City Golden Gloves, has made the transition. Sam, what has been the transition for you, having come out of amateur boxing, being used to wearing 10-ounce gloves, and converting now to a really successful bare knuckle style?
There's two really big transitions for me. The limit, the time of the rounds. You know, the glove boxing is 3-minute rounds, and you know, you got a little bit more time to work, to set things up. With bare knuckle, it's only 2 minutes, so it really goes quick, and you know, it's very action packed. And you got to push the pace to really make a good showing. The second one is the distance. You know, that glove gives you, even if it's just an inch or so difference as far as being able to hit your opponent from a little bit farther away. In bare knuckle, you got to take that extra half step in to make contact. So other than that, those are really the two big differences that I see.
Artem Lobov is of course here, originally from Russia, now based in the Republic of Ireland. Artem, hugely successful in MMA and the UFC. What has your training been like, making the conversion, fighting from 4-ounce gloves into bare knuckle?
You know, I always say if you want to be a good dancer, you have to dance a lot. And if you want to be a good boxer, you have to box a lot. So that's the approach we do. You know, Ireland is filled with very, very talented boxers. Some of the best boxers in the world, you know, Olympic medalists. So that's what I did. I went to all the best gyms and said, right, who wants it? Let's go. You know, I know how to earn the boxer's respect. It's only in the boxing ring. And that's what I've done.
Justin Baseman and I were together when we were both in Bellator. When I saw his name on the card, I thought, yeah, that makes sense. This is the guy who has that style. For you, because you have that wide open and technical brawling style, what are you going to bring to this that I saw you use in Bellator and use in MMA?
Gonna bring the pressure. You know, just like my fighting style, I like to go. I like to put on a good show. So I can't do any crazy kicks, but I gotta let the hands go like crazy, and going against one of the best bangers in the world. So it's an honor, and make sure you're glued to the TV. Make sure you're glued to our fight. Don't even blink, because it might be fast or it might be bloody all night long, but it's gonna be one of the best fights you see.
Britain Hart fought Beck Rawlings, and I think it's become a loss to history that you won on one of the judges' scorecards. People forget that was a split decision. I think a lot of people remember that as a unanimous decision, and it wasn't. Britain fought her ass off, quite frankly, and earned the respect of everybody, including Beck Rawlings. What's it going to be like now the second time around? What do you know now that you didn't know before that fight?
Exactly. I feel going into that fight, it was, you know, the new era with fighting. There's a lot of new things, you know, how your fists, how fast your hands go, defense. Kind of try to mimic and do a really great job of outboxing and staying on the move. And I think, you know, this is bare knuckle fighting. You know, I'm going to have to adopt and, you know, not just stick to boxing and kind of venture out there and have some new techniques if I want to stay ahead and be on top of the game, which is what I plan to do, and, you know, not walking away again with a decision.
Crippler, Chris Lieben, someone major star in the UFC, without a doubt. Transitioning, you've had a bare knuckle fight in a different organization, one not to be mentioned, right, David? One that no longer exists. Yet you're a fighter, when people like myself who are hardcore MMA fans watching, like, yeah, this makes sense. What's been the transition like for you now? And really, this is the start of a new career.
You know, it really is. Yeah, when I saw bare knuckle for the first time, I was like, shit, this thing is made for me, you know? Like, I mean, it's a beautiful sport. It's exciting to watch. The short rounds, no gloves. Like my opponent said best, hey, don't blink, it's going to be bloody. You know, it's just all action. I think it's exactly what our public
Christine Faria, tight technical boxing. You came in so confident on that first fight. It was like you figured out something that none of us had figured out yet. What was your training like to prepare you for that fight? And now what have you done coming to your second bare knuckle?
I'm just a natural fighter, and my hands have always been natural. I started in Muay Thai, MMA, but I had to incorporate my kicks, and it took me a lot to have to kick all the time to incorporate that. It's a natural boxing. I'm a natural fighter. I'm going to adapt to any situation in any fight, whatever style that is. So, that's it.
One of the things that I love about this sport, I think if you would put glove boxing over here and MMA over here, and you go right in the middle, I think that's what we have with bare knuckle. I think the rule set, and credit this man, David Feldman, that boxers can't dominate, MMA fighters can't dominate, there's the midpoint. Because of the clinch, you can underhook, waist cinch, half tie plump, there's the midpoint. Chase, I'm really intrigued on your fight because although Sam's had a couple of MMAs, he comes out of boxing. You're obviously well known for your MMA coming out of the UFC. How do you approach that? Because it's too simplistic to say this is MMA versus boxing, but it's two very different styles.
It's a long question.
It is a long question.
Yeah. You want me to say how to approach the fight?
No, just how do you approach? Because it's a different style from the training.
Yeah, I mean, when it came to MMA, man, I was mostly a striker to begin with, and I think around the world I was really well known for my kicks, but really, honestly, I feel like I'm more of a boxer than a kickboxer. I just set up my kicks with my hands, so the transition isn't going to be too difficult for me. I don't believe. Just as long as I don't accidentally kick them in the ring, just if that happens, it was out of just muscle memory. Don't get mad. I mean, it's gonna be exciting, man, and I hope we put on a good show, and it's gonna be a good night. That was a really difficult question.
More of an expose I gave you, I think. Jason Knight, also from the UFC, fighting in the main event, and you're fighting in your home state. There's a lot going on. You seem like you're ready. You seem very confident. Talk about your preparation coming into this fight. See, I gave him an easy question.
All right. Y'all made to be true with you, or you want me to tell you a lie? All right. I want to tell you a lie first. I went out. I spent the most amount of money you could spend. I went to all the best boxing gyms. I trained with all the best boxers because I thought I needed that. I thought I needed that to be Artem Lobov. Now I'm going to tell you the truth. I trained in my buddy's backyard. I trained with a bunch of amateurs. And I'm going to treat this fucking guy. I'm going to treat him like an amateur. I'm going to treat him like an amateur. After training in the backyard, training in a little wooden boxing ring in the backyard, I'm going to treat him like an amateur. Watch me. Come out there and watch me tomorrow. Watch me. I'm going to put hands on this boy's face and there ain't going to be nothing he can do about it. And he spent all kind of money for his training camp. I ain't spent nothing on my training camp. I ain't spent a dime. I didn't spend nothing. And I'm going to beat his ass. You hear me? Watch me.
That's what I like to hear. Let's see real fight. Let's see if he brings the duel. Many people say that they will. And then when the fight comes,
Word has it, I'm drinking free all night tomorrow. He says if I can make it to the second round, he's gonna buy my beer all night. Well, guess what, bitch? I drink Patron. Get ready to buy Patron, motherfucker, all night. I'll drink
no problem at all. You just bring it tomorrow.
Oh, I will bring the Patron. On my mama.
Even when I destroy it, I still bring that tomorrow. And I'm nice like that.
Sounds good.
David Feldman's been at this. Let's step back to follow.
We'll take shots together tonight. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
We'll take shots to
I'll take shots in your face first. And then
we're gonna talk about your fight with fucking Polly tonight after I beat your ass.
we'll be able to talk tomorrow.
We'll take shots over there.
I'll give it a straw to drink.
We'll do that.
Get it, guys.
Hit it!
Watch and see. Watch and see. Watch and see. You gonna see?
Hit it!
Just break it more, please. Just do it. And mask it, please. I've heard this so many fucking times. And then it's nothing but pussies everywhere. All they want to do is cuddle you up. But I save the guns for the ladies, so please, none of that. Bring it. Let's see what's happening.
David, you're going to have to top that, right? David, you've been on this ride a lot.
Make sure you bring the checkbook, David. I'll bring the patron.
David Feldman is the founder and the CEO, president of Bare Knuckle. This is his vision. He's been on this ride from the beginning. I'm very proud to say he picked me up relatively early on, and I know early cars were like, what are we going to get? Now I know people every day are saying, put me on. Big name fighters, UFC veterans, Bellator veterans, boxing world champions. Talk about where we are now, the fighters. I know people are blowing you up now.
I mean, it's been a crazy ride, and we're picking up a lot of momentum. We're getting a lot of interest from other fighters, I think, because we're giving them an opportunity now to stand out in a brand new organization, brand new sport where they can now stand out, where these gentlemen fought in the biggest stage in fighting in the UFC, and they were mixed in. Now they're on top of the game. They're top billing of this show, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 5, right here in Biloxi, Mississippi, and they get a chance to actually be the stars of the show. So I think what we're doing is giving these guys that might have been caught in the mix somewhere an opportunity to really stand alone and be a star. And that's what we're doing. Look, this has been a long, hard road for us. And on only our 5th event, everybody in the world is talking about us. We had a little episode that happened this week that reached 150 million people. That's huge. Yeah. 4 fights deep. We're only on our 5th right now. So we're just going to keep moving this thing forward. We're getting a lot of love from a lot of different fighters that want to be a part of this organization. But the one thing that I say to all these fighters is they have to bring it. Because if they don't bring it, there'll be one fight done with us. They have to bring it. And all these fighters, I know these guys are going to bring it tomorrow night. We're going to start with fireworks there. I know we got Chase Sherman and Sam Shoemaker. I mean, that has to be fireworks. This ladies fight here, I mean, come on. It's going to be fireworks all night long. And then Chris Lieben, who's been giving fireworks, lighting them off for years, against Justin Baseman, who's got nothing to lose, everything to win tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is going to be a fun-filled night of non-stop exciting action all night long. Everybody asked me how do you describe bare knuckle fighting. I said non-stop exciting action all night long, and you'll see it again tomorrow night. But I'm just so blessed and enjoying this ride that we're on, and who knows where it's going to take us, but I think it's going to take us somewhere near the top.
Moment of bravery for all of you. Obviously, brave individuals on the stage. If we have any questions from the media, from fans, we have my mic runner. Anybody want to ask a question? Good job. Nobody ever wants to be first. Very good.
Hi, this is Boxing Playhouse, supporting Amelia. Mr. Feldman, this question is for you. We want to know what one fact is it that boxing fans don't know that you think would be important to make them watch bare knuckles boxing?
I think the one thing that everybody misses on this is perception. So when I first mentioned bare knuckle, and I'm sure all these fighters up here mentioned they're going to fight bare knuckle with somebody, the perception is it's going to be a street fight, it's going to be a backyard fight, it's going to be a bar fight. This is more technical than boxing or MMA. They have to pick their shots. They have to do everything just a little bit more. They have to eye the opening a little bit more in fear of breaking their hands or doing something that they don't, want to injure themselves in this sport. So I think it's a lot more technical than anyone would really think it would be.
Question over there. That's fine.
the trainer, Antonio trainer. I think it's just fantastic. What we're seeing is that you have a mixture of MMA fighters and boxers coming together to make bare knuckle a growing sport. It's just growing so fast, and it's a pleasure to see that mixture actually coming together. This is great.
I think we had another question back here.
Where's Connor? Where's Connor?
We don't have to worry about Connor. We got Jason Knight and Artem Lobov here. They're going to set the room on fire.
He fucking knew better than to come to Mississippi and ride that fucking bus here around here. He knew better to come jump on my bus.
You guys think we got some fireworks tomorrow night?
We have any other questions from the crowd?
Hi, my name is Sean Shardy. Question is, I actually train and help manage Just Baseball. Question is, how many states are allowing bare knuckle boxing at this time? And what do you expect to have as far as more states coming on?
It's a great question, thank you.
Right now, we're fully legal in 3 states. We're voted in 3 other states going through legislature. We just want to take our time with this because, as you can see, we are leading the pack in bare knuckle. We are the premier bare knuckle fighting organization in the world. And why I say that is because someone tried to mimic what we did, and guys like Chris Lieben and other great fighters out there didn't get paid. So we want to take our time and open up these states. So we are the ones that open up the states, and we set the example, and we lead by example. And that's why we want to take our time as we grow. But we see that, you know, next year we're going to do 18 events in 2020, and then in 2021 we're planning 24 events. We're very close to inking some pretty good deals here that's going to carry us into the future. And like I said, we're just taking our time. A lot more states are not only are they answering my calls now, they're actually reaching out to us. So we're opening the doors because we're showing what we've always said. We're showing what we always said about the injuries and what's going to happen here. It's not going to be this brutal sporting thing. It's fun and exciting. It's great, but it's not brutal.
Guys, I want to give the mic to my good friend, the champ, Antonio Tarver, sitting very quietly today. One of the greatest boxers of this generation. Antonio Tarver's been with me, my main color commentator, since our first event. Champ?
Yeah, I just want to just invite everyone out to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, man. It's a growing sport. I'm excited about it. I've had an opportunity, thanks to David, to witness all 4 of the previous Bare Knuckle competitions. And I tell you, man, I didn't know what I was getting into initially, but I just liked and was curious about the idea of Bare Knuckle. And when I got in it, like David said, it's much more technical. Most fighters, it's much more technical because with the gloves on, you can just pretty much throw your hands at will and not have to worry sometimes about breaking your hands and all that. But now with bare knuckle, you got to place those shots. You know, you can't just be hitting someone on top of the dome. You got to place those shots. So it's important to be accurate. It's important, like you said, to be more technical, even on your defense, because in bare knuckle, it usually only takes 1 shot anyway. But it seriously only takes 1 shot. You got guys getting cut, you know, fights being called off because the cuts are too severe. And these 2 minutes go quick. You know, I mean, you can't afford to get behind. So you got to come out with the right mindset right out the gate, because you find yourself needing a knockout. Sometimes it's faint, sometimes it don't come. You can find yourself losing the fight. So differently than boxing, you got 12 long rounds where you can strategically control the action. But in this 5 fight 2 minutes, you got to go. Everything is like a sprint. And I think that's going to keep bare knuckle ahead of the curve because the excitement, you just can't deny it.
Thank you, Champ. Before we conclude, I'm going to give David Feldman final word on this, but Mr. Scott Bird is here. I just wanted to say a couple of words. So this is a man who's been a keeper of the flame and he's embraced what David Feldman has done. He's going to just come up and say a couple of words. He's the president of the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame, which is located in Belfast, New York. Absolute historian on this. If you would talk about how and why you've been behind BKFC and you've very tactfully avoided the other organizations.
Sure, thank you very much. To me, history is the glue that pulls everything together. And in 1882, just 3 miles down the road, John L. Sullivan won for the very first time this belt. And it was, then he defended it in 1889. And to be associated with David from the early days to now, we knew that yes, he was going to eventually pull all these good fighters in and more to come too. But it was that history that really sealed the deal and brought it all together. A lot of fans really loved the history of it. After the event here, if anyone wants to go down and tour the land where Sullivan fought in 1882, I'll take you down there and show it to you.
Thank you, Scott. So as you all know, we're tomorrow night. We're live on pay-per-view. We just keep on rolling. We stay viewed. There's been a lot that's happened since then. June 2nd, when a lot of people, not named Dave Feldman, said, this is never going to happen. And look where we are now. Final word, David Feldman, everyone.
Just want everybody to come out tomorrow night. Listen, come out to Mississippi Coast Coliseum and help us blow the roof off this building. This is definitely going to be probably the most exciting combat sporting event this entire year in all of America. So tune in to pay-per-view television, contact your local cable or satellite provider, or if you're having any trouble or you want to do it online at Fight TV, go to Fight TV, contact the Mississippi Coast Coliseum box office to purchase your tickets. There's not many left. This thing is selling fast. It's going to be a great night of action. Come out here and experience history in the making.
Thanks to David Feldman. Thanks to our fighters. Thanks to all the fighters on this card. Everyone in attendance, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night.